Hi, my name is Gage Bailey, and today is another episode of Hot Takes, where we review movies and eat really, really hot wings. Today I am reviewing Mary Poppins Returns, and I'm going to be using the sauce, The Death of Me. It's not the name of it, but by God, that's how it's gonna feel. It's, habanero flavored mango. Not better, slightly worse. So, guess we gotta do the deed. Okay, not too bad so far. Still hot. Definitely hot. Getting hotter. It's only worse when you swallow. Okay, we're good. We're good. So, good. I'm gonna take another bite just so it's full effect. It's still really hot. So, Jane and Michael, who are the kids in the first Mary Poppins back in the 60s, have grown up. Michael had a wife. She dead.
Oh my fucking god, she fucking dead.
It's like Bambi all over again, folks. Oh, don't swallow. So he has kids, and Jane does not. So, wife died, their house bad, the bank bad, so they're getting through life, and Mary Poppins returns with a kite, from a kite, in the park, after their youngest, George, goes chasing after the kite through the park with the street light lighter, Jack, who was played by Lin-Manuel Miranda, who was just the best. Pretty good wings. I mean, it hurt, but it's got good flavor. Still haven't tasted the cherry yet. I think they're lying. So after that, Mary Poppins comes back. Okay. Mary Poppins comes back, and she helps teach the bank's children to not be so grown up. Oh, my mouth is numb. To not be so grown up, and helps teach the original bank's children, Jane and Michael, to, they are all trying to learn to be more imaginative and creative and fun, because depression.
I have crippling depression.
Because it's taking place during Britain's version of our Great Depression, so everything's just crap. Money's gone, houses, things like that. It's all bad. No one has jobs anymore. Who has the time for that? It hurts more when I breathe. It's like I'm a dragon. So anyway, over adventures, before the wind changes and Mary Poppins has to leave, she helps teach the Banks family again how to be more creative, imaginative, and better people. And dear God, it's even worse than when I took a bite. Oh. There's none of it left in my mouth, but all of the breaths I take are just so much worse. Okay, pros and cons. Let's do this. After I pick up Mega Man and Lil-Manuel. Okay. So, pros and cons. The pros is it is a very original, creative, and imaginative story with really, really good music that sometimes even tops the original, and really good acting. Even the child actors, which are never really that great, are really good in this film. Oof. And although you can never truly replace Dick Van Dyke and Julie Andrews, Emily Blunt and Lin-Manuel do a really good job. And the guy who plays Michael Banks, the grown-up one, is really good. He's really talented. I don't know if he's in other films, but he should be. I enjoyed him thoroughly. The cons, though, are that it is kind of rehashed. It hits a lot of the same beats as the original one does when it came out, story-wise, and we'll get more into that in the spoiler review. It is heavily nostalgia-based, just like a lot of the newer Disney live-action stuff. Like all of their remakes and Christopher Robin and stuff like that. It's very, very heavy nostalgia. And this movie's basically already been done with the original. But with all of those things, I still thoroughly enjoyed my experience with this movie. It was really, really good. And although it was kind of rehashed and they did this back in the 60s with the original, it still has enough changes and it's its own, I think I can call it its own thing. And it reminds me a lot of when The Force Awakens came out, how it touches on the same plot beats, but it's still a different movie and something you can call its own because of the different stuff. Like, this movie hits a lot of the plot points, and again, we'll talk about that later. They're different, so it still feels like a Mary Poppins film, but it does have the problem of, you know what's going to happen, basically. Except for the ending. That was actually interesting. They didn't do that in the original. I'm kind of happy with it. It was very good. My overall thoughts on the thing, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend it. It was really, really good. And I'd say go out and watch it. It's an easy 9 out of 10 in my book. It was thoroughly enjoyable. I don't think any film this year, or any other, has made me grin ear to ear as much through a runtime of a film as this one has. It was very good. Okay. Goodbye. This has been painful. I'll do another one later in the future. But until then, I hate myself.